Good morning. I don't know if it's morning. I've been in here my whole life. It's like Liberty Jail. I can't tell if the light is out or a day has gone by. Anyway, the person who made the comment that just cracked me up. Cracked me up. Said, "Get off of your high horse." Now, I don't even have a short horse. I have no horses at all. And I'm too damn old to get up on a high horse. I had a horse years ago, and a son of a bitch. I could ride it, but when it decided to go home, damn, it went home. And it went underneath the barn, and I, of course, was sitting on it, and I couldn't duck down enough. That son of a bitch knocked me off on the ground, and, you know, I hated riding the horse for that reason, so I have gotten off of my high horse this morning. I wanted to talk to you about funerals. Now, I've never been to a funeral. I think I'm going to one. Not too long off, okay? And I probably will show up. Whether I'll be on time or not, I don't know. Well, anyway, I don't want a funeral. I'm kidding about that. I want to be cremated, and then I want to be flushed down the toilet of the morgue so I can be with my family and friends. So anyway, I wanted to talk about human funerals, which I find fascinating. Not just American funerals, but Native Americans. I think they put their people up on a little stage they built, and they burn them, and then, I don't know, it seems to me that the Greeks or the Romans, if you weren't crucified, I don't know, they pushed you out on a boat and it burned. And I forget the different societies I've studied of their funerals, but a little anthropology here. Anyway, I'm amazed at American funerals. Okay, now first of all, putting a person under the ground and letting them rot and the bugs eat them, I'm not against that. Leaving them above ground and having the bugs eat them, and you're walking down the street and you see these people on the sidewalk, you go, nah, let's put them underground. I'm with that, okay? I'm a little odd, but not that odd. Okay, so put them underground, okay. And I think that's okay. Now, along comes, put them in a box and then put them underground. Now, I don't know where the box came from. It might have come from Walmart. They sell a lot of boxes, and so does U-Haul. U-Haul invented, and they go, put the body in a box. Well, I think a lot of humans think that if you're in a box, the bugs can't get in. Jeez. I think the bugs come out of the human being. I don't think they come in. I think the maggots and whatever are in us, and they grow, and then they, I guess, eat themselves. I'm not an expert on body decomposition, nor do I want to be. So anyway, then another part of burial comes along that they say, let's put them in a really nice box. Now, I think the funeral homes came up with that one. I could be wrong, I don't know. But I think the funeral homes go, putting them in the ground ain't enough money. The boxes are too cheap. So the boxes then became more expensive. They became coffins. And then you can get some really expensive coffins, you know, with brass handles and silk inside, you know, nice. You can, so the dead person can rest in peace. Now, I'm not sure a dead person has any other choice. What could you say? Rest in excitement? Rest in fun? What can you say other than rest in peace? Well, I'm not sure that that's always peace either. It's death. So I don't know if peace and death are the same things. So pretty soon, I guess, the funeral directors, and I'm blaming all this on funeral directors, I guess, they said, well, now we have to have a funeral where everybody comes and they stand around and they weep openly. Now, we know they didn't give a shit about this person when they were alive, and this person was a total ass while they were alive, but now that they're dead, everyone is going, oh, she or he was such a wonderful person. Well, they weren't. They weren't wonderful. They were idiots, and they were mean to you and said shit to you and lied, cheated, stole, cheated on you, and, lied on their income taxes. They weren't a great person. But anyway, now the society goes, well, let's put in the newspaper how good they were. Now, this dead person couldn't get in a newspaper, if it ran him over in the street. But now, it's a famous thing. A famous person. They're actually in the newspaper. Well, they're in the obituaries. But they're in the paper years ago. Now here comes my high horse again. Oh, it's coming in. It's a horse head. It's not a high horse. It's the Danites with a horse head. Years ago, when I was a professional, which I was never. I was always unprofessional. But anyway, when people thought I was on a high horse with a master's degree, I was in the paper a few times. And let me tell you something secret about being in the paper. When you open the paper up and you see your picture on the front page, be ready for a shit life. You don't want to be in a newspaper. Believe me, I was on a radio show once. No, you never want to be on radio. And I've been on television once or twice. And no, that kind of stuff is not exciting. But the dead person goes, put me in the paper and lie your ass off how nice I was. Well, here in Utah, when you're put in the paper for an obituary, they list all the things you basically did in the church. They'll say, this person was married in the Salt Lake Temple. They died on the Salt Lake Temple grass. They washed clothes in the Salt Lake Temple in the laundry. They worked in the cafeteria in the Salt Lake Temple. And they were in the 77th stake. And they served there. And they're with now their wife and their children, which are all dead. Anyway, you don't want to be in the paper. So when you die, tell your people, don't put me in the paper. It looks stupid. So anyway, now they have this big meeting, and they all stand around, and they have a funeral, and you can always tell LDS people in the Utah area because the funeral is always at a ward house or a stake center. It doesn't just give the address. It gives away what their religion is. Now, they may not have been there for 28 years. They've never showed up for a meeting, but they're still a member according to the hierarchy of the church. Now here is something that you don't know. I'm guarantee it, you don't know. And I wish that I didn't. If you have been into the cult temple and you've learned the secret handshakes and the Pele Ale and, oh God, hear the words of my mouth, and health in the navel, marrow in the bones, strength in the loins and in the sinews, power in the priesthood, if you've learned all that shit, which you've only been through maybe once, hated it, and never went back, when you die, you can't choose your own clothes. In the Mormon church, there's one set of clothes for everybody. And you're dressed in your clown temple clothes. Now, when people walk by your dead casket, or dead body in a casket, they look at you, and the ones that aren't members of the church go, holy shit, why are they dressed so stupid? Well, the members of the church just go by, and of course, members of the church have no sense of humor. They don't laugh, they don't smile, they don't have loud laughter and like-mindedness. That's put out in the temple. You're not allowed to do that. So when Mormons go by, they don't laugh. They just when non-members go by, they go, shit, what the hell? What's that? Well, there's your grandpa. It'll be me pretty soon, but I'm not going to have temple clothes on me. I'm going to have a little devil hat, a little devil tail, and a red suit if the Mormons cremate me. So anyway, they dress you in your temple clothes. And that includes the baker's hat. That includes the robes on the left shoulder or right. I don't know which it is when you're in the box. And your little white booties and white socks and your garments. Now, I think the Mormons think. Now, I have never heard this, so Mormons can jump all over me on the comments, which They do regularly. I don't know why they dress you in your clown costume. It may be that when you get to heaven, you'll be recognized. But you're already in heaven before they dress you. So that can't be it. When you died, you were in your bathing suit, and if you take the clothes with you that, you know, are on you at the moment, you're in your bathing suit in heaven. Hey, look at those girls. Heaven, come this way. You don't need hand signals. You don't need anything. Just girls, this way in bathing suits. In this room right here, Joseph wants to interview you if you're under 15. So you've already damn died. You died, you know, when the car hit you. So, you know, you're in your regular clothes. So when you went to heaven, there you are in your truck driver suit. So when you go to the funeral, the Relief Society president dresses you. Now, that'd be okay with me if she was like, you know, 21, 22. But they're always like 60 or 70 years old with big arms, no hair. And she's got me naked, and she's putting on my garments. Well, she's looking at my weenie. I don't think she should be able to look at my weenie. So anyway, they dress you in your white temple clothes, and you're laying there in your coffin, and people are laughing their ass off at you. So I told my mom, who's had a couple of heart attacks the last couple of months, I said, quit having heart attacks. No, I said, listen, you're hanging around a lot of Mormons. My brother used to be a bishop. They were really at the bottom of the barrel, but they got him as a bishop. And I said, Mom, if they dress you in a clown suit, I am not going to go to your funeral. I am not going to pass your casket and see you in the funny clothes. I don't want that to be my last memory of you in a cult. I'm sorry. You know, if you're in regular clothes or naked, well, I don't want to be naked. And, well, you don't have any choice. The Mormons are going to make you naked and put you in that stupid costume. Well, I'll tell them not to do it. And I said, well, when you tell Mormons anything, not to do this or not to do that, they listen to God. They don't listen to the world. They have their own laws, their own rules. So anyway, I said to Mom, I don't want my last memory of you being in a clown costume. I'm sorry. So anyway, I don't think most of you know that Mormons bury Mormons in their supposed temple clothes so that when they get to heaven, they will be recognized. Well, like I said, they're already dead. And if they died in a bathing suit, they're going to be there with no garments and in a bathing suit. Now, you go to this chapel, and they have this big speech, and they find special people to talk who really liked you. Most of the audience didn't give a shit. They're just scared. And then say, well, I'm going to this funeral because I want them to come to my funeral, because if no one comes, it means no one likes me. No, it doesn't. They can come and still not like you. So anyway, they get up and they'll say a few words, positive, supposedly, about the dead person. Well, everybody is weeping. Now, funerals are good in America for weeping. If you really want to weep, if you want that shit, go to a funeral. That is the par excellence of a funeral. Everybody gets to weep. Well, most of the people who are weeping don't even know you. They just are sad. Well, they're probably emotionally disturbed. You go to a funeral. Now, if it's a husband or if it's a child, missing them, never seeing them again, that could be a good thing. But it could be sad. It could be sad. So somebody weeping over a very, very close loved one that they spent a lot of time with, I can understand that. It's not for me, but, well, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, if one of my kids was killed, how I would feel. First thing I would do is get a gun. And I'm not sure who I would use it on first. Anyway, they laugh, or I mean, they laugh. I laugh. I've only been to 2 funerals, and one was my uncle, and he was an alcoholic, and like he was 70 years old. Oh, and I went to my grandfather's funeral, and he was laying there in a Mormon, and he wasn't a Mormon, a Mormon green apron that they use in the temple. And I said to my dad, because I was about maybe 11, I said, Dad, how come you stole a Mormon green apron? And Dad said, oh, he was a Mason. Did the Mormons copy the Masons and their ceremonies? Anyway, Grandpa had on the green apron. And here I am, 64, 5 years old, and the last things I remember is my grandfather laying there with a green apron. I thought he was going to, go in the kitchen and make a salad or something. I don't know what the hell he was doing in a Mormon apron, but he was in a Mason apron, and I guess the Masons came and dressed him. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I've never seen a dead person dress themselves, but I guess anything is possible. So now they take the body from the funeral, and they put it in this casket, and then 6 people have to carry it. Now, if you're really, really poor, you're carried in a box and in a small Volkswagen on top. If you're rich, that casket could be $6,000 or $10,000. What a beautiful piece of craftsmanship. And it's going to be put in the dirt in the ground where the water gets it. So anyway, they put you in this Cadillac. Now, most people have never ridden in a Cadillac in their whole life. But going out, they're going to ride the Cadillac. I owned a Cadillac once. Oh, there's my high horse. Off. Getting off. So the Cadillac thing isn't a big thing to me. Okay. So I don't want a Cadillac. I think I'd like a Prius. I'm kind of eco-energy person. So anyway, now they take you over to the gravesite. Now the Mormons have, you don't know this either. You don't know this either. The Mormons have a pale ale over at the damn gravesite. The backhoe has already dug the hole up, so you look down and go, geez, I'm going to be in there someday. And they have this green indoor carpet all over the place, so you don't see the dirt. And then they bring the body, and they put, or the casket body, over the gravesite. Well, now, I guess they used to just throw that sucker in. I don't know. I don't know, because like I said, I've never been to funerals. I'm only going to one more. And that's it. So they have these ropes and these pulleys and stuff, and they put the casket on these pulleys, and I guess the pulleys lower it down. Well, now they have another meeting, and the Mormons have somebody come forward who's alive, and they say a prayer. And it's, the best I can remember of that prayer is they're dedicating the grave. Now, I don't know what that means. When you dedicate something, I guess you're doing it to the memory of the funeral house or the person. I don't know. But the Mormons have a special prayer that they say to dedicate a grave. So when the whole thing is over and the weeping is over and people are going to their cars, then the funeral people that own the cemetery, they come over and quickly put that casket, beautiful casket, down in the ground. Now, not only have we gone to a box and then a casket, and nice caskets, now we put the body of the casket, or the casket and the body, the whole thing goes into a cement vault. Now, bugs have a hard time getting through cement, so there's this belief that the bugs aren't going to get you. Bullshit. The bugs are inside of us. The maggots come out of us. And they eat us, and then we're a skeleton laying there. Now, anytime that you've exhumed a body, and I've never exhumed one myself, but I'd like to exhume Joseph Smith. But anyway, if you've exhumed a body, and it's been in there for a while, it's a skeleton. I guess the maggots can't eat the skeleton. Well, how did the bugs get in there to eat? If you put it into a casket and then into a metal vault and then put the top on the vault. Well, anyway, we're all eaten alive. No, we're eaten dead. We're eaten dead. So that's where all the maggots come from. Okay, now, after they cover that up, then the family who treated this person like shit, who hated them, goes, God, we're really guilty. let's go get a tombstone. Now, tombstone business is good in the United States. And I guess they're made out of a granite, a lot of it, and then they chisel on the tombstone your name and your date, and sometimes they'll put something good on there about you, that you're not as much of an idiot as anybody thought you were. And sometimes for men, they'll put a little urine on the tombstone so the ex-wives can come in and piss on it so it doesn't go all over the place. So now the family runs down and they pay another $2,000 or $3,000 for a tombstone with your name on it. So everybody who goes on the grass of the cemetery, they know that's where David is, right? Like they want to know. Yeah, that's an important piece of information. But the more guilty the family is, the nicer the headstone is. And if you don't have a headstone, if it's just a flat stone in the ground, your family hated your ass. And if you're cremated, they just throw those ashes to the wind and go, that son of a bitch. So anyway, there's my treatise on funerals. I'm not into funeral, folks. I'm really sorry. But if you are, that's okay. And if you want a Mormon to dedicate your funeral, hey, do it. If you want to be dressed in a costume and have all of your friends' last memory of you in a baker's hat and a veil over your face if you're a woman, you know, go for it. Go for it. Call the missionaries. Join up. Give them your money. Thanks.